Hey guys, Keshav here from Revolution Hive. So I get asked all the time, probably the number one question that I get asked most frequently is tips on public speaking. This question comes from Nishay. What's up, Nishay? From the free Facebook group that I run. So join it if you haven't already. You can ask me questions and we run calls every 3 weeks. Got one on Saturday on confidence. So you should definitely check that out. But he asked me a question in the group about what are some scientific ways to engage any audience? Because he's going to be doing a TEDx talk soon, so good luck. And he wants to know some of my best tips, what's worked for me in engaging people when I'm doing public speaking, because I've spoken all over the world at this point. And to be honest, it's more effortless now than it's ever been. You know, I'm making daily videos. You guys can kind of see the proof in the pudding rather when I'm speaking. So I get asked this question a lot. The first thing and the most important thing that I want to get across is don't try and speak. Most people, they look at public speaking like this thing like, oh, I'm going to go in front of an audience and I'm going to try and be inspiring and speak in a certain way. And what's the reason for that? Well, what we imagine when we're talking about powerful public speaking is, you know, Martin Luther King used to talk like this, or Malcolm X used to speak like this, or, you know, Akala talks like this, or whoever the person is that you admire and that you want to speak like. And we imagine, you know, having the same kind of confidence. But here's the thing. Don't try and speak. Talk to people. That's all public speaking really is. That's all I'm doing right now is I'm talking to you. I'm not trying to speak in a certain way or be a certain thing. I'm just trying to talk to you how I normally would. And that's the most engaging thing that you can do. And you'll notice this, if you go back and watch some of my older videos compared to the ones now, you'll notice that I was trying to be confident, I was trying to speak, but I wasn't really talking to you. And that's the biggest hack that I can give you is talk to people. And in your question, you said, you know, scientific tips to engage any audience. But here's the thing, every single audience I speak to is different. From the 10-year-olds that I mentor at Blakesley Hall Primary who live in Alum Rock to the university students in Bristol, every audience is different. Every person is different. So you want to respect that uniqueness. Just like if you're having a conversation at work, every interaction is different and you have to calibrate emotionally. You know, where is this person? Because let's say you go and talk to someone and their state is really low and they're really tired, or they're just admiring the sunshine outside, and you come in all high energy. You haven't calibrated. So one of the most important things you can do is get a feel for your audience. Read what they're talking about on Twitter the day before, the night before. But even when you're on stage, look at people, you know, what are their expressions saying to you? Because you are communicating to them. And as much as the scientific stuff works, what really matters is how you make people feel, because they're not going to remember the content, you know, 6 months down the line. They're going to remember how you made them feel and how they feel about you. And the best way you can do that is get up and talk to them. So many people want to so many people want to do a TED talk, for example, a TEDx even. And it's probably the easiest time in history ever to do a TEDx talk, because there's so many events going on. So there's no consistent quality, but that's a totally different topic. Let me stay on point. Anyone can do a TEDx talk. And here's the thing, people are going to remember how you made them feel. So there's no right way of doing it. So what I'm trying to get at here is, what is your message? That's the most important thing. When you get in front of an audience and you're trying to speak, instead of trying to be a public speaker, think about what's the message that you're trying to spread. What's the idea that's really important to you, that you want to get across to them, that you need them to know? In terms of a couple of practical things, breathing is one of the easiest ways to get into state. And there is a difference between being confident and being natural. When we talk about engaging people when we're public speaking or being confident, what we really mean, what we really want is not to be confident, but it's to feel natural in front of an audience. Because the best speakers, if you watch them, the most powerful videos that I have, that other speakers have, are the ones where you can tell that this guy is feeling exactly what he's saying. Go look at the breakup video that I made. I'm I'm not trying to do anything but talk to you. Go watch Martin Luther's I Have a Dream speech. Go watch Malcolm X's Who Taught You speech. And you'll see this person really believes what they're saying. And that's because they're being natural. Now, one of the exercises that I do in my workshops with Revolution Hive is I ask people to come and stand up in complete silence for 90 seconds and be confident. And some people come up and they try and do this and they try and act confident, like they don't feel any kind of nerves. But the most powerful people that do the best at that activity are the ones who come up and don't try and be confident. They try and be natural. And natural looks different for all of us. So that's what I'm saying. Don't focus on trying to be confident like Eric Thomas or Les Brown or Tony Robbins or whoever the person is. Just try and be you. Try and be natural. And the best way that you can do that is to really have a message that you want to share. And in terms of practical things, preparation is key. The more you know what you want to say, the easier it's going to be when you want to say it. Because people don't mess up because they don't know what to say. They mess up when they're public speaking because their thinking is fragmented. So they're trying to think about something and then they get stuck. And that causes them not to know what to say. And then they get nervous and the whole thing compounds. Whereas if you recite your phone number when you get on stage, it's going to be the easiest thing you've ever done because you know it like the back of your hand. So you want to prepare your speech that thoroughly that you know exactly what point leads to which thing and what you need to say next. And another couple of things that you can do is have slides, because the people in the audience, some of them are going to be visual learners, some of them are going to be auditory, so they learn through listening, and some of them are going to be kinesthetic. So think about how you can use your really short presentation, because it's only 12 minutes, to engage those different senses in your audience. So you can do that, that's a practical thing that you can do. But like I say, the most important thing that if you take one thing from this video is go and talk to them, like on a real, genuine level, and think about in this 12-minute period, what's the one thing that I really need to get across to every single person in this room? And I need them to really feel it. Because when you focus on that, I'm telling you, the right message is just going to come out of you. And the more you prepare, the easier it's going to be. So there's some practical things you can do, but forget about the tactics and trying to bargain your audience. Talk to them, because people can smell bullshit a mile away. And I'm sorry if there's people who get offended by my language, but it's just the real truth about it. People know authentic behavior and they can see it and they can smell it a mile away. So be authentic and set yourself up to allow for that moment for you to be authentic. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have questions in the comments below. I'm making daily videos, so if this is the first video you've seen, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go hit it. And just like a bumblebee gathers pollen from different flowers, absorb everything that was useful in this video, discard what wasn't, and add what was uniquely and is uniquely and truly your own. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.